Okay. Last time we were looking at the concept of morality. The concept of morality. And we say morality concerns itself with the norms or the standards of individual behavior. Norms or standards of individual behavior. We also say it deals with how we ought to behave in the society, or how we're supposed to behave in the society. We also went further looking at the types of morality. We identified 4 of them, if not 5. We looked at the first one as the African morality. From there, we also looked at the social morality. We looked at the justice morality, lost morality, and the open morality. Did we look at those? Yes, we looked. So it's your responsibility to go back and then look at them, what they say. From there, we also looked at morality of human action. Morality of human action. Morality of human action, we say in any human action, whatever a man is doing, intention is very important. I also talked about that. Intention is very important. Whatever action is going to be done, you have an intention. Why am I doing this? What is the reason for I doing this thing? We looked at that. We also looked at moral judgment. Sometimes people do some things, and so other people come to judge you on what you have done or on what the action is taken. We cited an example of saying the Roman Catholic says or believes that if a person has done an abortion or has died an abortion, it means he has done a sin. But without knowing why he has done that. Sometimes in the hospital, doctors can agree with the guardian to say, okay, let us do what we call it, mesically. What is that? His name. Let us kill this patient simply because he's been in pain for so many years or for so long. So, by doing that, the other quarters can say, or can judge you to say, you've made a sin. Stop that. So we looked at that moral judgment. We also looked at moral laws, which I say to some people is the same thing as the principle of morality. It's the same thing as the principles of morality. So the moral law or the natural law or the law of God. So moral laws. Morality has got, morality needs to be protected. Morality needs to be protected. And if you flout or if you breach that law of morality, it means punishment is supposed to be given to you. God gave us the code of laws, which are known as 10 Commandments, which are firstly given to the Israelites, but they're still applying up to date. So we move along those. And if we go back to communities, different communities also have morals. They have morals, they're also supposed to be observed, to be accepted and then observed and also protected. And anyone who disobeys those moral laws, which are stipulated in the community, the punishment again follows you. Now today, I want us to look at the concept of value. The concept of value. the concept of value. What are values? I want us to brainstorm the meaning of value. What are values?
Something that you take it at heart.
Something we take it at heart. That's according to our friend Cynthia. And so,
I think value, like we have this like moral value, right? So I think there are things that are installed in us doing, like a kind of behavior, kind of custom that we're installed. We are told.
okay, thank you very much for that. Well, values. To add on to what Eva is saying, values refer to the standards or principles, that we have set for ourselves and by which we live. The standards or principles that we have set for ourselves and by which we live. That is to say, each and every human being sets for himself some standards or principles. And he lives or she lives by them, by those standards or by those principles. So values refer to the standards or principles that we have set for ourselves and by which we live. I may give you a very good example of values. A good example could be one might decide to abstain from sex until he or she gets married, which means this somebody who is following that, who is living by that. It means that's the standard he or she has set for himself or herself. I'm saying one might decide to abstain from sex until he or she gets married. That's a good example. That is to say, this is the standard or the principle which he or she has decided to live by. And this is standard which she has set, that's abstinence. I'm talking about abstinence in this case. So such a standard reflects the moral value. That standard reflects the moral value. It means he has decided to live by a good behavior. Because if she doesn't abstain from sex, it means the opposite of that. Good behavior. It will be tended to be bad behavior. Right? So that's a good example. We're saying the values we uphold in our day-to-day living define us. So this person who has chosen abstinence, it means the way how it's being looked at by others. It means That's the way how they are defining that particular person. To define the person, what does that mean?
To describe the person.
Akudziwika n'ikirenge yose. Wasanga kuti I will not do this up until I get married. That's the way how people are going to look at that particular person. So this person is upholding to abstinence. This person is upholding to, take note of upholding. Upholding. Now, upholding can have its advantage or disadvantage. We may look at that. But to me, I feel upholding something, a good value, is advantageous. It's very advantageous. More especially with somebody who has decided to uphold onto that particular value. In new one, or this value, we may look at the advantage or advantages of upholding to good or positive morals or values. We are going to look at them as we go along. So the values we uphold in our day-to-day living define us. We are being defined by that. What we are holding up to. We are holding up to, or we are holding. For example, if someone is kind and always helps the needy in the community, you can say that person is kind and generous. For example, if someone is kind and always helps the needy in the community, you can say that person is kind and generous. It's been defined, is kind and generous simply because he upheld to helping the needy, to show kindness. This person who is helping the needy in the society is defined by others. This person is kind and generous. Why? It's because that particular person, on maybe a daily basis, a weekly basis, every now and again, is decided to uphold to helping others in the community, helping the needy in the community. That's why it's defined a kind and generous person. Now, on value, there are different types of value. Value has different types, or can be defined in different types. The first kind of value is moral and ethical values. Moral and ethical values. Which values are these? These are beliefs. They are beliefs that someone These are the beliefs that someone has. The beliefs that someone has that help them distinguish between right and the wrong. These are the values which Rhoda can have, which James can have. And these beliefs, they help them distinguish between right and wrong. What are the examples of this? Moral and ethical values. Examples. These may include the following. One, integrity, abstinence, honesty, generosity, kindness, caring, loving, charity, responsibility, and self-esteem. You can name it. There are quite a lot of them. That's why I was kind of fast in the mission. Just the end of them. Another type of values is religious values. These are values founded in religious traditions. These are values that are founded in religious traditions and beliefs. There are values founded in religious traditions and beliefs. And normally, they are based on the scripture. They are based on the scripture and a religion's established norms. A religion's established norms or standards. On the same, they are saying, it's being believed that on the same, on the religion and moral values, it's being believed that the primary objective of Christian missionary education, particularly in the earlier times, was the incarnation of religion and moral principles. I will explain later. So the teaching of both religion and moral principles became interwoven, and they can hardly be separated. That is to say, you cannot separate religion and moral principles. Religion and moral principles. Like, for instance, religion. That's a belief in God. When we talk about religion, what is religion? It's belief in a supernatural being, in a God. So if you believe in a God, and the God you are believing in is saying don't kill, which means religion and the moral principle, because killing is immoral. Killing. There's no any morality that can accept killing. And when it comes to religion, God is prohibiting somebody. He's telling somebody not to kill, according to the 10 commandments, don't kill. Now, that's why here they are saying both religion and moral principles, they are interwoven. They are interwoven, like Zimmermann. So they cannot be separated. You can't separate the religion from moral principles, or moral principles are not separated from religion, because it's invisible at once. So morals akubuza kuti usabe, ukabiranso ku religion akubuza usabe. Izo kama ngani once. You cannot separate them. Can we? No, you can't. That's why they're saying both religion and moral principles became previously, became interwoven, and you cannot separate them. So religion and moral education was also integrated into school curriculum. Previously, for instance, this is a mission institution, true or false? Yes. So much sample that the primary objective, much sample of this school of this Christian missionary education. This is the Christian missionary education. So the primary objective of this is the incarnation of religion and moral principles. That's to put in students this knowledge of or about what God is talking about, the way how we're supposed to behave in society, life from here going outside there. How are we going to incorporate ourselves in the society? We are being raised, or you are being raised as students on the biblical foundation, on the religious foundation of saying morals and the religion. You cannot separate them. That's why this is the curriculum we're using here. This curriculum, which means they have incorporated religious norms or standards. That's why we're teaching you these things. So you're growing up, or as days are going forward, we are putting in you this knowledge of saying religion and moral principles. You cannot separate them. You cannot separate them. Moral values, there are plenty of them, and that's why I'm saying in values, there are plenty of them. We are looking at them, values, types of values. So that is that. They're saying religion and moral education. Religion and moral education. Education, you know, imparting knowledge. What kind of knowledge we're imparting in you? Moral, about morals. And morals we're imparting in you to say, we are making you to know this is right and this is good and this is bad. So these two, religion and moral education, previously was also integrated into the school curriculum. Right now, this is the curriculum we're using here, the syllabus we're using here. So which means this have been put together in order for you to have this knowledge. Now they're saying, however, things have changed in the recent times. Previously, these things were put in the curriculum, even though these days they are also still maintaining that. But they're saying, however, this time around things are changing. Religion is being mostly taught in schools for academic purposes. Just for academic purposes. Get me well there, or get what the staff is saying. For just academic purpose. You can be given, or you can be taught to do ABC just for the sake of passing exams, but without taking whatever the staff is telling you to do. Practical. Kunena kuganzi zuma kunena apa. Cholinga chenje ngati masukulu ama missionaries. Amaphunzitsa chikhalire mogwirizana ndi mawu a kuti wanji. Mawu a chikhalire. Let me go back to 10 commandments. From Malamulo Usali, Usasiri. Ndilo kwa masinezi na chini. Sio. Ndipo hizo amazije na mziga. Mapunziro kuti ana azitunzira. Ndabona kuti pakati pa masitizizi asasita masuwa. Yes zilipo mamuko kwa masasiti. Simina kwastegera kale. Pakati pa it seems like the za suluka kaleo, it was like they are taking this seriously, but this time around they are doing this just for the sake of maybe passing exams. That's why they're saying for academic purpose, even though they are calls from concerned Malawians for the reintroduction of moral education in Malawi schools. Kaleo metika preserve ngati makolo sizina kuba masuku anatu. Kaleo tunauza mchinji changu mchichoni, but this time around because they diluted all those, that stuff we used to learn in those days. Unfortunately, just for the sake of kungophunzira alembe nayeso akoze ukuthi achitenge chinthu chimene achiphunzira kuchiita mwayiwo chinthu chimene chite mwayi wake tikuona zimene tikuziona masuku. So now there's a call. These parents are calling. Here they're saying their calls from concerned Malawians, from concerned parents, for what? For the introduction, reintroduction, which means already it was there, but now they're calling for the reintroduction of moral education in Malawian schools. In Malawian schools, what is just Kataniza? Anna only this time around, Anna Sam. Why? Now, bring back moral education. They should know this is wrong, this is bad. If they do this, this is good. Or this is right, this is wrong. So they have seen this, that dilution. Moral values have been diluted in the schools. In the schools. No wonder Malawians or parents are calling for the introduction of moral education in schools. For the purpose of what? For the purpose of stemming down. For the stemming down, the wave of indiscipline. There's a lot of indiscipline among Malawian youth. Can you hear this? There's a lot of indiscipline as opposed to previously, when moral education was in schools, was taught in schools. But this time around, you are working very hard simply because this is moral education. This is moral education. You are lucky. But for those who've gone through other schools where they don't teach this, there's a lot of indiscipline. I don't think you will be indiscipline. Are you indisciplined?
Children. We're good children of God.
Okay. Now, however, things have changed in the recent times as the religion is being mostly taught in schools for academic purposes. Even though there are calls for same Malawians for the introduction of moral education in Malawian schools. It needs to be introduced. So that is on type number 2 of what? Of values. Okay. So example of this. Example of moral, religious and ethical. They have said religious and what? And moral values.
Moral and ethical, the religious values.
So the second one, the example of this. Which values do you think? Which can fall on this?
Religious. Not steal.
Don't steal, don't kill. Etc. We just recite the 10 commandments. Those things which we've been forbidden not to do, they fall under that. Okay, the third one is political. The third one is political values. Political values. Political values. What are these values? Political values. These are the beliefs and the rules that are important to a particular political party. These are beliefs and the rules that are important to a political party. We have political parties. So each and every political party has its own beliefs and the rules. Examples of this could be equality. Equality. Political parties believe in equality. Each and every member who is following that particular party is equal to the other. Nobody is different from the other. If you believe and follow that party's ideology, if you are a member of that particular party, you are supposed to follow that party's ideology. So, which means whosoever is a member is equal to the other, because you're following the same ideologies. So, equality number one. Number two is liberty. Liberty, example of that one, liberty. There at liberty, any member of that particular political party is at liberty. If you are a member of that particular party, then what are you supposed to do to your friend? Tolerance must be observed. Tolerance of diversity. You are different, yes. Even though you are different, maybe when you are looking at the diversity, maybe you are from the north, somebody from the south, the other one is from the center or from the east. If you belong to this particular political party, but you're coming from different regions, you're coming from different religions, you're coming from different race or ethnicity. But the fact that you are supporting this particular party, it means we are looking at these differences and diversity. But what is supposed to be observed? Tolerance. Tolerance. So tolerance is another example. I mean, another word, yes, example of the political party. Tolerance is an example of what? Another type of values is social values. Social values. Social values may include values such as hardworking. Hardworking, also working together or teamwork. Teamwork. So that is to say, social values, it refers to the way how people interact or relate to one another when they are either at school or workplace. What do you value most when you're with your friends? What do you value most when you're with your friends? Do you value hard working? Do you value working like a team? Value number what? Number 4? 5. This is aesthetic. 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 Also find a simple termination for this. aesthetic values, these are values which have to do with what we consider beautiful. Aesthetic values, these are values which have to do with what we consider beautiful. Or these are values which are concerned with beauty. Most of the time, these are values which are concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty. These are values which have to do with what we consider beautiful, or these are values which are concerned with what? Beauty. Or what we admire. Or what we admire. Concerned with what we admire. Example of this could be appreciation. Appreciation of art. Appreciation of art. Or culture. Or music. So those are the types of values. Now, if we've set ourselves to follow the values, or if we've decided to follow those values, we're supposed to stand up for them. We are supposed to stand up for them. Now, I want us to look at the standing up for our own values. If you can remember earlier I was saying, if you stand up for your own values, is it good or bad? Is it important or not? Standing up for one's value. Standing up for one's value. Is it good or bad?
Depends on the value.
Depends on
The value, the kind of value system. But if they're good, then it's good. If they're bad,
whatever value you've decided to take it means that one is good for you. You can't choose a value, you can't follow a value once it's not good for you. So, is it good or bad to stand up for this value? Let us hear from this. They are saying having personal values is important. Having personal values is important. But the most important thing is to be able to stand for these values. Can you hear me? Having personal value, that's very good. That's very good. But standing up for those values is what is needed most. So the most important thing is to be able to stand for those or these values. I may give a very good example. Listen to this. There was a certain guy. This guy was a student at a certain school. He was touched by some children or fellow students who are struggling with life, more especially when it came to getting probably money for their daily upkeep. And some of them, the place where they were living was not all that fine. The buildings were in a dilapidated condition. So he was touched. To the extent whereby he asked his friends, colleagues at school, guys, why can't we raise money to help our colleagues? So they raised the fundraising. They organized the fundraising for their colleagues' home, and also in order for them to get money for buying food and other stuff. You can imagine this, how this gentleman was up to, or was kind of like. That is to say, he was a kind guy, together with his colleagues. They were generous as well. Now, this other time there was a holiday. They went back home to the village. When he was there, he met a cousin of his. So that cousin was into drugs. He started tempting his cousin, who came from town. My friend, can we take this stuff? What is stuff for this? I'll just take it. So he was forced up until he tested the stuff. The moment he started doing that, that guy completely changed. He changed completely. Because of the influence of the drugs, which were given by the cousin. When he went back to school, he stopped concentrating in education. In the class, he was rude, dirty, sneaks out of school to go and quench his thirsty, looking for where he could find some drugs. So his teachers became worried because he was doing fine in school. But this time around, he has completely changed. So his teachers started worried. They became worried that they will lose that particular good student. And again, his life took a negative direction or a bad direction, whereby they were quite sure that because of the influence of drugs, definitely, probably he's going to die, or is going to get into more other unwanted behavior. So that was the situation because of one bad influence and life. Up until he dwelled. He was a good guy, but he dwelled. He had his own values at first of working hard at school, such that probably one day he was going to be maybe a manager or whatever position he could attain because he was doing fine at school, but he changed. That is to say, he failed to stand for it. He failed to stand for it. His values. His values are good. But he's being tempted by a cousin to the extent whereby he has completely changed. So that is a story about standing up for one's own value. It means sometimes you can have values, but if you don't stand up for your values, you can mess up. You can lose the touch. Now, it is important to stand up for one's value. It is important to stand up for one's value. What are the importance of standing up for one's value? What this gentleman failed to do was to make up a good decision, right? So the importance of standing for one's value is, if you stand up for one's value, you make good decision. Standing up for one's value will enable you to make good decision. When we stand for our values, we are able to make good decisions that we can't regret in the future. This guy, let us call him Robert. Robert and his cousin back home, let us call him James. When we stand up for our values, we are able to make good decisions that we can't regret in the future. That is to say, Robert failed to stand up for his values. And in the future, he started regretting. He messed up because of his cousin, who enticed him to go into drugs. Another importance of standing up for one's value, you'll be able to do what? To earn respect. If you stand up for one's value, you earn this like this. You earn respect. Uma pasidore. So that is to say, people who stand for their values are highly respected. I don't want prostitution. You know, prostitutes, they don't receive respect from you. True or false? True. So you will stand there so such kind of people, the moment they start messing up, they are not respected. Matenga na drugs, matenge and how many drunkards. They don't receive respect from people. So you earn respect from people if you stand up for your or for one's value. Again, in another importance, if you stand up for your values, this will enable you, will enhance success, will promote success. That is to say, when we stand for our values, we will not get distracted or influenced by others. This is what this gentleman lacked. I'm not influenced by the customer. He lacked this one. Yeah. When we stand for our values, we don't get distracted. City quarter, we don't get distracted or influenced by others. So this guy failed to stand for his values. That's why he was distracted. That's why he was influenced by his cousin. No wonder even his success at school, he was successful at first. But later on, because of the bad influence of this cousin, what do you do? The future eventually became unsuccessful. Did not succeed. Another importance is other people get to understand us. If we stand for our values, other people get to understand us. They understand us because what we have valued most, what we're standing on, it means that thing is going to define us. See what I mean? Yeah. We are going to be defined by our values. We are going to be defined by our values. So other people are going to understand us if we stand for our values. They are going to define us. So values define who we are. Other people are therefore able to know who we really are and the values that we hold on. Another importance, enhanced discipline, coexistence. If we stand up for our values, we are going to enhance or promote peaceful existence. So when other people get to know about our values and understand it better, we are able to live peacefully. Peaceful coexistence. I may go back to that example of Robert and James, those cousins. That is to say, Robert failed to do what? To stand up for his values, because of his cousin. That was because of peer pressure. I can say that is because of peer pressure. Jordan? Yes, because of peer pressure. Peer pressure distracted him. Also, he was influenced by that. Now, let us have a look at, in line with this, the values and the like. Sometimes we fail to stand for our values because of peer pressure. Now, put peer pressure. Peer pressure. Forms of peer pressure. Put first of all peer pressure. Why peer pressure? Peer pressure. No. Heading peer pressure. Peer pressure. Now, I want you to put like an introduction to the peer pressure. You can say, sometimes people fail to stand up for their values. Sometimes people fail to stand up for their values because of peer pressure. Especially youth. Mwenye fusto, put comma, especially youth. Especially the youth who tend to be influenced by peers, by their peers. by their peers, full stop. You can even jump a line to say peer pressure, that's the point. Is a habit. Is a habit. Is a habit. One forms. Is a habit one forms. One forms because of the influence. One forms because of the influence of a friend, comma, peers, or agent, full stop. Modern model or agent, full stop. I can't go on. The people we associate with. The people we associate with. Because of the people we associate with them can influence us. Full stop. Another point on the same. Point. Our friends can influence us in the way they think. Our friends can influence us in the way they think, or the clothes they wear, and even the choices they make. They make and the manner in which they behave. On that one, I think you can agree with me. Sometimes we fall under that. So there's not much again about it. Comment on that. You can now, types of peer pressure. There are mainly two types of peer pressure. Namely, the positive peer pressure That's the first one. Positive peer pressure. What is this positive peer pressure? This is a positive influence. Positive peer pressure is a positive influence. That is to say, a person is influenced to do the right and acceptable thing. When we're talking about the positive peer pressure, on this one, it means a person has been influenced to do or to doing the right and acceptable thing. Whether you've been influenced by your peers or age mates or people you're associating with, they're influencing you to doing the right and acceptable thing. Which thing could this be? For example, your friend may be good at telling you to work hard. They may influence you by telling you to work hard. At school, and again, if you're at school, your friends may be good at waking you up early in the morning for personal study. That's the positive. Yes. Now, what about the second peer pressure? The second peer pressure is the negative peer pressure. Negative peer pressure. Negative peer pressure. Negative peer pressure is a negative influence. A negative influence. And in a negative peer pressure, that is to say, a person is influenced to do the wrong thing. A person is influenced to do the wrong thing, such as taking drugs, just like how that gentleman was doing well at school, who failed to stand up for his values. He was influenced to do the wrong thing, such as taking drugs and engaging in marital sex. So peer pressure has consequences. That's not the point. Peer pressure has got its consequences. You can put the consequences as a heading. Consequences of peer pressure. What's that? Huh? Consequences of peer pressure. Another one for consequences. Effects, impacts. Let me read this here to this story in line with the consequence. Right? Here, in this story, consequences of peer pressure. Abididad walked into a boutique to buy a new dress. She saw one that she liked and decided to try it on. In the dressing room, she looked at herself in the mirror. She thought, this looks good on me. I like it, it's color. But what will Justina think of my choice? She hates orange, and this dress has so much orange. She might think I am old-fashioned. What about Maria? Will she really like my choice? Is this dress good according to their standards? But I like it, and it's my dress. Why do I always think about others? Hey, it's so hard to decide. Now the question would be, do you think Das would have bought the dress if Justina had accompanied her to the boutique?
No. No, no, no.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Now that's on the consequence. Consequence, the impact of peer pressure. Now here they're saying, like Abid, we all experience situations where we are so much worried of what our friends will say about the decisions we make. Our peers influence us either positively or negatively in our decision making. That's in our decision making. The one who is to decide on what to do is you, not somebody has to decide on what you want or you like. Abid was in a fix simply because she was thinking about Mariam and Christine. What are they going to do? No. But we're supposed to like that thing. So our peers influence us either positively or negatively in our decision making. Positive peer pressure makes us do good things or restrain us from doing bad things. Negative peer pressure, on the other hand, makes us to do bad things or keeps us from doing good things. Now, all the consequences, there are two of them, these positive consequences. What have you written down? Just the heading.
Just consequences.
Okay. There are two types of consequences of peer pressure. There are two types of consequences of peer pressure. Namely, positive peer pressure, namely positive peer pressure, whose consequences are as follows. Whose consequences are as follows. Consequence number one, your peer pressure, and your positive peer pressure. That's adopting good behavior, good habits. Adopting good habit or habits. That's positive. Eh? On that one, you can point about them. I want to explain that one, adopting good behavior. If you get a good peer group or friend, your peers can influence you positively. I'm talking on the point of adopting habits. So I've said if you get a good peer group of friends, that group or those friends of yours, will influence you positively. That is to say, for example, if that group is working hard at school, is working hard or harder in school, definitely they will inspire you to do likewise. They will inspire you to do better, just like them, how they are doing. They are working hard. So they will inspire you to do likewise, to do like them. So that is to say you have adopted good habit. Number two, the consequence of this positive is quitting bad habits. Quitting. To quit, what does it mean? Quitting bad habits. That is to say, good peers can influence you to quit bad things or bad habits, such as lateness, smoking, drinking, and so on and so forth. Again, on the positive. The positive one is making good decisions. Making good decisions. Positive peers will help you make good decisions and right choices in life. Another consequence on the positive is enhances good value. Enhances or promotes good value. Positive peer pressure enhances or promotes good value. That is to say, peers may also teach you good values. People whom you are associated with or the positive side of peer pressure. They may teach you good values. For example, if your friend is charitable, you may find yourself adopting this value. Based on the same figures flock together. Yeah. They flock together, they do. Likewise. In the Bible itself says so. And yes. That's almost true. Now, let us have a look at another kind of peer pressure. The second one. This one is negative peer pressure. Consequences. Negative consequences. Consequences of negative peer pressure. Yes, consequences of negative peer pressure. The first one is supposed to be adopting bad habits. Adopting bad habits. Adopting bad habits. If a person is engaged or is attached to if a person is attached to a group, negative peer pressure, a group with negative peer pressure, or a group which is considered to be bad, is going to adopt bad habits. That is to say, it makes you, if you are involved in that group or you engage with that group, it means it's going to make you to embrace bad habits. A person who is attached to that group, peer pressure group, negative peer pressure group, that is to say, is going to embrace bad habits, such as smoking. If the group is smoking, then that kind of habit you're going to embrace. You also turn out to be a smoker. So you'll be smoking, you'll be drinking if they're drinking alcohol, and if they're engaging in marital sex, you're going to do likewise. This is what they are saying. So adopting bad habits. These are some of the bad habits. If you are attached to such kind of a group, definitely you're going to embrace what that group is doing. That's what they're saying. So the second one, on the negative consequence of negative peer pressure is loss of individual identity. Loss of individual identity. That is to say, when our peers influence us negatively, it means that we are not able to stand for our values, just like the case which I gave previously. Loss of individual identity. That student lost his identity. He was kind, we heard that he was kind, he was charitable, but all that stuff was deleted. When once he got himself entangled or involved in that drug taking substance. So his identity was erased. He lost that identity. So you can lose your identity if you are involved in the negative peer pressure group. That's the consequence. I don't know if that is good. They're saying if we adopt our peers' lifestyle, fashion, taste, language, and other ways of doing things, we lose our own identity. We lose our own identity. We can no longer think or act independently. We use our ability does. But it does, what did she lose? She no longer thought or act independently. Such kind of people who are prone to losing identity, their identity, that is to say, they don't think independently. Those people normally who lose their identity, they don't think independently. No one will Justina Akatibani, Mariam Akatibani. So she was failing to think independently. Akatibaniza independently. With other powers, I don't care. That little guy, another was to school, identity charitable, but he lost that one simply because the moment he got entangled, he got involved with that particular cousin, he lost his identity. So you can lose an identity. And again, example number 3 of negative peer pressure is making bad decisions and choices. Making bad decisions and choices. Making bad decisions and choices. So negative peer pressure makes someone to make a decision that he or she may regret in the future. You regret in the future. negative peer pressure makes someone to make decisions that he or she may regret in the future. For instance, or for example, a girl may be pregnant after being influenced by her friends to engage in premarital sex. She can't reverse this situation, thus will live with regrets. Another example on the consequences of peer pressure, negative peer pressure, is dropping out of school. Dropping out of school. Some students are expelled from school due to drug abuse or other indiscipline cases, which may be as a result of negative peer pressure. That's very true. Finally, on this one, let us have the techniques. We should know the techniques of resisting negative peer pressure. The positive one is good to take it on board because it's good, it's positive. But the negative one, we're supposed to resist it. So techniques for resisting negative peer pressure. You can agree with me to say we are all susceptible to peer pressure. We are all susceptible to peer pressure. Kwa hiyo mimi nasimamiza kutia peer pressure sana kwa mimi. Iko sababu create that influence. So we are all susceptible to peer pressure. However, we are not helpless. We are not helpless in the face of peer pressure. You can say no to peer pressure on our own. We can refuse to be influenced negatively by our peers. So we have those many as negative. But we are not as helpless as somebody who doesn't think and they bow down to whatever your friends are telling you. We refuse to be influenced negatively by our friends or peers or mates. So, how are we going to win this battle of resisting negative peer pressure? What are we supposed to do? They say there are some suggestions that are very important if we are to successfully fight negative peer pressure. The first one should be self-awareness. Self-awareness. We can resist negative peer pressure if we are aware about ourselves. Self-awareness. It is important to know who we are and the values we stand for. Self-awareness. It is important to know who we are and the values we stand for. Ask yourselves the following questions. Who am I? What do I expect of myself? What are my values? So the first part of resisting negative peer pressure will be done by or be won by self-awareness. The second technique to resist negative peer pressure is by being assertive. Be assertive. Be assertive. Don't be afraid to stand for your values. Abedidas was afraid to stand for her values. That James guy also failed to stand for his values. Don't be afraid to stand for your values. If you stand for your values and refuse to compromise, you'll be respected by your peers. Be respected by your peers.
Can you come again?
Be assertive. Yes, I said be assertive. Don't be afraid to stand for your own values. Stand for your values. Don't be afraid. Even if your friends are going to call you names or say blah, 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 don't be afraid. Oh, you will not move with us. No. Stand for your values. Stick to your identity. Don't lose your identity. Don't compromise. Again, another technique to resist negative peer pressure is by making good choices of friends. Make good choices of friends. A lot of youth are in a mess when it comes to choosing good friends. If you want to survive, if you want to resist negative peer pressure, what are we supposed to do? Make good choice of friends. It is important to associate with peers who are well behaved and uphold good values. Because such friends strengthen you and inspire you to become a better person. It is important to associate with good friends, good peers, who are well behaved and uphold good values. Only those friends who are going to uphold good values and who are well behaved, these are the ones we're supposed to choose. Because such friends will strengthen you and even inspire you to become a better person. Another technique to win this battle, to resist negative peer pressure, is set clear goals in life. You need to set clear goals. You must be focused on what you want to achieve in life. Be focused on what you want to achieve in life. And the last technique is seek help. If you have tried all you could do, but you failed, seek help. If necessary, seek help or guidance from people you trust and who are wiser than you.
Another way techniques for resisting peer pressure. There is very
Self-awareness. You need to know yourself.
Yeah, I need to be what are these self-awareness.
Those are techniques. Like self-awareness, that gentleman. Kazi yake mkutano ndio kumuuza kuti aende madrugs. He lacks self-awareness. That's why I'm not saying. So to resist what that means. Upewa. So mujaifuta na ile technique. These are skills. These are techniques, they are skills. Zopewe ya kudunga presidi uleyo mwina upewe influence ya imenenda kukulisa kupeseke mfuto. And this one, a lot of youth, they are lacking that skill or technique. Mfika mimi na ndio zote mafuta. Mutenge mna tsika na nyamata, tenge nina kuspose. Msika amekuwa yeye hivi na nyamata sana. I'm aware of the problem. I can give you a very good example. When I was teaching in Zomba, I will not mention that place. Yeah? There was a student from another school. So, like you, your friends, then one of you had a boyfriend. Then you're telling your friend, can you escort me? I will try to escort your boyfriend. Wow. Upon you reaching there, that boyfriend of yours has a friend. And I have a friend. You tell me, tipangeza tu, uendie tu tena tu. Basi pasana hiyo. Zita. Sisi tunacheza mpaka the ended up doing whatever she did not want to do. So it was bad, double impact. She got pregnant at the same time she was infected with diseases. Mona? Akanata kuziziwa yeka, what she lacked was that skill, self-awareness. Akaona zibichika zimezi mungu, ileo, nilima values yangu, na mwompe sana. Sina kuweza kuwasina. The moment I started mentioning that thing, we are going to do. But what she liked, what she liked was that technique, that skill. The ambiguity, actually, I'm not winning. I've been as a beef, if you go to the So, to be accepted in that group, that guy is going to end up smoking or indulging in other activities, even which I was not part of them. So, because of lack of self-awareness. You need to know yourself. Who am I? What do I value most? I hope that's clear. Okay. Now, let us come here. They're talking about values in the present day. Values. What are the values in the present day? What do a lot of people value most? Now they're saying today's women, unlike women in the past, as my women, same as my and prefer to be married alone to their husbands. They prefer elaborate marriage ceremony and marriage that will be based on trial and error. You know, they allow their parents to know little or nothing about their relationship. With their proposed husband. And again, education seems to have changed the value system of what our parents cherished on marrying each other. These days, this economy expects both the husband and wife to be working.
Yes.
It
was okay.
You see? Unlike what is used to be in the past. Also, due to regular attendance of parties by the children, there is a problem of overindulgence in drinking, sexual immorality, and stealing among others. Okay? So you agree with what they say. So these days, again, in the same vein, values among university students, just like you, have to do with their aspiration for material gratification, particularly for themselves. Also to our public, values are firstly eroding They are now becoming alienated from themselves and society. So Malawians are full of suspicions, lack of trust, dishonesty, particularly when it comes to dealing with one another. So the lazy Malawians, who are also outspoken, are getting richer at the expense of the masses. To go on another, or the expense of another. They don't care about others. So many Malawians who value achievements are full of cheating. Many Malawians who value achievements. Who can achieve one? Work hard and then get whatever you want to achieve in life. Go to school, do whatever the school requires of you, so that in the near future you become whatever you want, you achieve whatever you want. But instead, they become full of cheating, corruption, theft, self-deceit, unwanted ambitions, unnecessary ambitions, as well as unfaithfulness to the established traditions. Cell phone. Respect. We've seen the values. Now let us go to respect. Respect. What does it mean when you hear the word respect? Respect. Without wasting our time. Respect is a mark of regard for others. A mark for regard for others. Is a mark of regard for others. This is the mark of regard for others. This is the way we address people and behave towards them. True? Yes. How do I regard you? How do I regard my parents or someone else? And how do I behave towards them? Our parents, brothers, sisters, friends, seniors, teachers must be respected. Therefore, respect is a mark of good upbringing in the home. It's a mark of good upbringing. If a child who is coming from a certain family is having all those elements I've just mentioned here, is regarded as a child who was trained to respect either brothers or sisters, parents, seniors, and even your friends, your age mates. You can respect them, regardless of your age. You are in the same age group, but you need to respect them as well. You want the respect. We have various forms of respect, different kinds of respect. The first one is self-respect. The first one is self-respect. What does it mean by self-respect? Self-respect simply means having regard for ourselves, oneself. There are some people who don't respect themselves. True or false? Yes. There are some people who don't respect themselves. When we do things in a way that will not make us ashamed of ourselves, then we have shown self-respect. Some people, they don't care. They bring shame to themselves, to nobody's business. Forgetting that if we respect ourselves, others will also respect us. And if we don't respect ourselves, others will not respect us. They don't care. So self-respect, that is what it means. Only respect, there is respect for authority. Respect for authority. Another one is respect for authority. For instance, in the home, who has the respect? I mean, who has authority?
Parents.
Yes, parents. We're supposed to respect them. Our parents and other members of our family tell us about the rules and traditions of our society. We should obey and respect them so that they can help us to lead a better life in the future. That's very true. There are several people in authority. These may include lecturers, if you're in the education circles, class representatives, monitors, and at a higher level, those in authority may include like commissioners, ministers, governors, the president himself or herself, other political office bearers. They must be respected because it is when we respect these people in authority that they work hard to bring peace and harmony to the country. That's the respect for authority. Respect for our colleagues and agents. It is important for us because we do things together. If you respect your colleagues, from acceptance, there's acceptance, which means you do things together and share problems together. You should tolerate their mistakes and respect them so that you shall be happy in and as brothers and sisters. Respect them, respect their problems, share them. So another respect is respect for elders. You're supposed to respect elders. The other one is also respect for the rights of others, human beings. Respect other human beings. Don't live alone. No man is alone. Don't live alone. And we live in groups and societies. The Malawi society. The Malawi society described law as a body of official rules. Anyway, having reached there, we've done a lot. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much for being kind.